Good morning from Colmar, France. Got here yesterday pretty late in the day and we were just completely struggling to find food. There are basically no grocery stores in Colmar. I mean, I think that there maybe are like two kind of legit grocery stores, but nothing that we're used to, really small portions. And a lot of the things that showed up as grocery stores were basically just like Italian meat shops where, you know, there was like cold cuts and like bread and homemade pasta.
It's just stuff that is
like expensive. Yeah.
$7. Best bread ever.
Welcome to Colmar, a remarkably preserved town in the Alsace region just 20 miles away from the German border. Now, while it may look like a quiet town, Colmar is very much alive with buildings dating as far back as the 12th century, still used as homes, cafes, and shops. The town's unique identity comes from centuries of bouncing between French and German control, which is why the architecture here feels distinctly mixed. French windows framed by German half-timbering, wine cellars under pastel-colored facades, and Gothic churches sitting right next to Renaissance mansions. One lesser-known fact is that Colmar is the hometown of Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, the sculptor behind the Statue of Liberty. You can even visit a replica of Lady Liberty on the roundabout just outside the town center, built to honor his legacy. Another cool surprise is Colmar's Canal District, nicknamed Little Venice, wasn't just built for tourists, it was a strategic route for transporting wine and produce throughout the town by flat-bottomed boats. Today you can still float on these same waters while hearing stories from medieval guilds and 15th century merchants. Beneath several of Colmar's oldest buildings are hidden wine cellars that survived untouched during World War II because the Nazis valued Alsace wines so highly that they protected the vintages underground. So yes, this quiet little town has outlasted empires, hidden treasures beneath its streets, and sent one of the most iconic statues across the Atlantic.
Colmar isn't just a one-stop town though. It's another one of the Alsace wine route, one of the oldest in France, and a dream for anyone who lives for slow travel. The entire region is dotted with medieval villages that feel frozen in time, like Ribeauvillé and Exeheim, both just 15 to 25 minutes away by car or bus, which we'll be actually going to in about an hour. These places are tiny, some with under 2,000 residents, but they've been voted amongst the most beautiful in France for their cobbled lanes, flower-draped balconies, and ridiculously well-preserved architecture. Colmar, though, is a perfect base because it's way larger, around 70,000 residents here, and has way more restaurants, museums, and public transportation links than its neighbors along this whole wine region. The Unterlinden Museum holds art pieces here that include works dating back all the way to the 1200s, including the famous Isenheim altarpiece, and if you're visiting in the winter, Colmar's Christmas markets are often ranked even above Strasbourg. If you're visiting in the spring or summer, you'll see why painters and photographers obsess over the light here. It's usually way brighter due to the town's location in a valley sheltered by the Zoe Mountains, which blocks heavy clouds from the west. This is the kind of place where people just stroll for hours without an agenda, kind of like us a little bit. I mean, we have an agenda, but like, this is a nice place because there isn't too many landmarks that we have to stop at and speak about. Like, am I really gonna tell you about the history of this tree? And yeah, we can pick out like really specific houses, or maybe there's a cathedral, or I guess we could talk about the museum or the Statue of Liberty here. But overall, ton of colorful houses, and it's just a lot of just nice footage, nice scenery, and we don't have to stop every second to film all of the different little attractions. So it's very nice not having an agenda here, but here in Colmar, just discovering cellars, courtyards, viewpoints between villages is amazing. This place is best for couples, solo travelers, photographers, and wine lovers, but anyone who hates tourist traps and wants something slower, more scenic, and deeply rooted in history will feel at home here. The only real tourist kind of scam we're seeing is like the little boat trips or all the locks on the bridges, but other than that, like, you don't have to buy the locks to put them on the bridges, and you don't have to buy a boat tour around the river. Like, in our experience from Oxford and Cambridge, when we did the punting tours, that was something truly worth it. It's so fun being on those boats and being in the water. That to me is not a scam whatsoever. So Colmar, really peaceful, definitely an older set of people here today. So it's just like calm. It doesn't really feel too touristy. It just, again, feels stuck in time. Yeah, this place is actually perfect. I can only imagine what it would look like in the summer. I mean, it's actually pretty obvious to kind of figure out what it would look like in the summer because we do have good weather today. But as far as just like the amount of people and no clouds, shorts, I mean, just look at this section. This is clearly like some type of city center, and there are just seats everywhere. There's probably, you know, 500 just empty seats right here. Like, imagine the summer, like everybody's out, maybe like drinking wine, drinking beer, just like a nice summer day. All the colorful houses, everything is just reflecting off the sun. It would be so nice and lively, but here there's just like not that many people, but it's still very gorgeous. Hasn't really been much action. There hasn't really been much people, so we've been kind of like just changing locations every day. But we'll see what happens today. Not exactly sure. Our recommendation though is just like come to the little Venice area.
Yeah.
And make a stop into
Marché
Couvert Market. It's also like a bus station with this weird short bus. But this is like a main bus station too. So you'll probably get dropped off here anyway. Take a look inside. It's kind of like a
regular
grocery
market,
store.
yeah.
But there is like one good bakery store that we went to yesterday that we got that almond croissant thing that was really good.
Yeah.
So let's check out if there's anything new inside.
So I guess we did a little carb splurging just to gain a lot of energy. And it's also stuff that I've been seeing that I want to try. We got that brioche almond sugar bread from yesterday. And then today we got the lamb, which I've been seeing and I really want to try. I mean, it's probably just like a sweet bread with powdered sugar on top, but it's shaped in a lamb. So I wanted to try it. And then in French, we got our croissant à la chocolat, I think. We got chocolate croissant, which is going to be really exciting to, I guess, compare to how we had it in Paris. So yeah, a lot of carved up food, a lot of sugary food. So going to be excited to try.
Nothing too special. The chocolate wasn't melted. It was good. Solid like 8, 2. Now
Yeah.
onto the
Tiny little lamb.
little lamb. Is this a tourist trap? I don't know. Tell us in the comments.
I'm just
sure
gonna have
you
a tiny
already will.
piece of it because
Tiny piece. Bread and powdered sugar.
yo.
It's
No,
better
listen,
than that.
this is really good.
All right.
You can put the scary music on it. We are currently at Le Shelby, which is one of the most unique cocktail bars in Colmar. It opened up in 2020 by 3 friends, Tristan Reinbach, Florence Seller, and Marion Leclerc, who wanted to create something Colmar didn't have yet, a proper speakeasy. It's styled after secret bars during the Prohibition era in the US, where people had to sneak into hidden spots to have a drink. France never had an alcohol ban like that, but the concept still caught on here. Hidden entrances, low lighting, jazz in the background, but we don't really hear much jazz, and drinks that are way more creative than your average wine bar. Now, when we get outside, we will give you a hint as to where to get in, but we want to kind of keep it as secret to keep that like speakeasy vibe. So to get into this bar, you will go into an alleyway, and right away you will see a restaurant, lobby area that's all lit up, and from there you will see the first door that you will walk through, which should be pretty easy to open up, and then you'll walk through that way and you'll be greeted by a wall, which is the door. We're not going to tell you how to actually open the door. We'll leave that up to you to decide how to open it, but
as Sophia was mentioning, this bar is tucked behind an unmarked door near Place de la Cathedral. As you can see, can't open it, so you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. Inside is the full 1920s setting bar with leather seating, vintage decor, and a really strong whiskey selection. Their cocktails rotate seasonally. They use a lot of elation ingredients. Think elderflower, citrus, and fresh herbs. It's not just a bar you drop into, it's one you go looking for, which is a really cool experience. It's almost like one of those escape rooms where even in here, like obviously the door doesn't open, so you need to figure that out yourself. Sadly, me and Sophia were looking for this bar for around 30 minutes, so at that point it was a little annoying and we were ready to give up, but we had some help from a local Frenchman who kind of just gave us the location. But speakeasies like this have started to pop up in other places of the Alsace region as well, mostly in Strasbourg and Mulhouse, but Le Shelby was the first to do it right in Colmar. And the result is one of the most memorable nights you can have in the town. We saw a great selection of locals in the bar. It didn't really look like there was any tourism going down there. It was actually a very nice place, clearly in shorts, very underdressed. It was cool. We got a beer. It looked like there was a food menu as well, so that could definitely be a long night. It is a Friday, and there were barely any people down there, but I'm sure it would be packed in the summer. Backpacking, or I guess just adulting has some perks. We have a beautiful dinner, all cooked by Sophia. You know, utilize grocery stores. We at least we got some wine here. I mean, obviously in a vineyard region, at least we finally got something like specific to the actual place. Definitely should be going to more restaurants, but trying to save as much money as possible. But check out this meal, looks incredible. Wow.
Hello.
Huh?